Hi, this is for speech 151, the final exam. The skills I expected to gain from this class would be confidence in speaking in front of people, not getting nervous, not rushing through what I need to say, getting to the point right away. I think it's getting there. It's a work in progress. Um, for the interpersonal communications, the ones that stuck out to me would be in chapter 8, the win-win, when both partners agree on the goal or try to hit the goal together. Because I think most times in a relationship, being with friends or with your girlfriends, I would say that there's always somebody that needs to win, or somebody always has to be right, which would be good if most times you both can agree on something. Another one is from chapter 8 again, the styles of expressing conflict, non-assertion ability to the inability to express one's thoughts. I would say that's a big one because most people, I'm sure, either never did say what they should say or never say what's on their mind. They feel like if they say it, they're gonna hurt the other person, or the other person might get mad. But I think if you hold things in too long, it's not too good. So the non-assertion. For my presentations, I would say the best one I had would really be my persuasive on the sport of surfing, because it really hits home on how much I really love this sport. It kind of shows my true side on how I feel about it, the reality on how it connects to life, and how actually I said the ending part of my speech, I didn't really even write it the way I said it. I just kind of had it coming from what I believe. One of my classmates would be, I saw Kevin Cox, his renewable energy, the informative speech. I thought it was really well done. He had um, he had a good visual aid. I think in the beginning he passed out something to the audience, a lot of information. He didn't have an information overload, but I think it was just enough. He kept it going with nothing getting too long, nothing going over the top. I think it was perfect. Um, the organization that I used in my interview speech could have been better. I think I tried to do a logical reasoning, tell about the topic, tell about the things you need for the sport, inform how the game is played, having my person come up and help me explaining why he loves to play golf. To me, that was a good visual aid. But all in all, I tried to make it kind of logical, but I think I still got to work on that. The methods, for the informative speech, I tried to keep it kind of simple. With there's so many different words that we use in judo. I tried to keep it simple and show you what that word meant. That would be kind of describing or explaining what each thing does. I tried to use some supporting materials to show how everything comes together. With the ending or my conclusion, I try to keep it with connecting on how this helps you out during regular life. The techniques to get my audience for my persuasive speech were kind of getting connected, even though you don't care too much about surfing, or you never really tried it or never really thought about it, was to get it through that this is life pretty much. When you surf, that's a whole kind of small look into your whole life, with working, going to school, getting a job. You gotta take leaps, you gotta take chances. To me, surfing, that has everything to do with it. Everything you do in life applies to that. How has your public speaking skills improved? I think from with it, the first speech to the last one, with all these small speeches in between, I think it kind of did improve on me thinking outside the box, not just looking at the question and answering it. Elaborating a little bit more with terms from the textbook, I would say that it makes it much more meaningful, especially when I can connect with the audience. My strengths would be, I guess, the volume, looking up at the audience, um, props, the operation of how everything is going. Some of the things I would consider redoing again is maybe going down on the checklist, getting a little bit more information, understanding what I have to hit on top of the rubric. But for the most part, I think I did okay. The improvements would be, for the biggest improvement I think would be for my last two speeches, I didn't put the MLA format. That right there was a big, I just forgot. But learning from your mistakes, again, I'll try to look at the rubric a little bit closer. I think in my performance, I could have done better with maybe speaking, maybe informing a little bit more. I may have thrown some things in there which I didn't cover, which might have just kind of overlooked everything. But I think for the most part, the big thing I want to improve on would probably be information. Me speaking more, kind of not doing so much props. For the future, I would say my goal um, is to graduate, get a job. The things I can use from this class would be um, if I'm working in the office and I have to give a presentation. I'm sure all this is going to come back. It's going to help me out from the beginning to the conclusion, how to speak, how to organize everything, how to keep the audience's attention. Another one would be when getting a job, persuading the employer to hire me, hopefully. Hoping that I don't make myself sound too big or too small, just in the middle. Um, as a worker for sales, if I'm in it, persuading the customer to buy something, hopefully to get his opinions, and hopefully I can take my opinions and we can meet somewhere in the middle. And for this class, that would be it. Okay, thank you guys.